Hi everyone, this is my next episode of the Ukrainian news media run-through. Let's get to the business. Yuri Lutsenko, the Attorney General of Ukraine, in his interview with the German news agency Bild, said that Ukraine is not considering to fulfill the point of the Minsk agreement that requires to give a general pardon to those who are related to events in Donetsk and Lugansk. I'd like to remind you what the Minsk agreements say about it. Provide pardon and amnesty by way of enacting a law that forbids prosecution and punishment of persons in relation to events that took place in particular departments of Donetsk and Lugansk oblasts of Ukraine. And this is his interview on the website of this news agency. Unfortunately, I don't speak German, so I'm going to use Google Translate. Let us come to the Minsk agreements. Those whose implementation depends on peace in the eastern Ukraine. Point 5 of the agreement calls for the adoption of a law which prohibits the prosecution and punishment of persons who are related to the events that have taken place in certain areas of Donetsk and Lugansk Oblast of Ukraine. Will there be such a general amnesty for all separatists, including the killers of Ukrainian soldiers and civilians? I don't agree with your interpretation of the point. Amnesty can only be granted in the Ukraine individually, and it can be granted only in cases which are at least anesthetic. According to Ukrainian law, murder, torture, rape, dangerous bodily injury, and people are not subject to the possibility of amnesty. If this point of Minsk agreement is to be implemented, we will investigate the request of each individual who wishes to have granted an amnesty. If a court establishes that the person has not committed the enumerated acts, the court may pardon the person. So I guess he thinks that his opinion is more important than the opinion of the leaders of 4 countries that were negotiating these agreements. The next one is about Parliament of the EU finally voting for lifting the visa regime for Ukraine. I think it's not a bad thing, but I'd like to translate for you the words of the President of Ukraine, Petro Poroshenko, that he addressed to the people of Ukraine. There are some words that I think aren't meant for the Western people to hear, and especially for the members of the Parliament of the EU. It's a small part of his speech, so it will be short.
Дорогі співвітчизники,
Dear nation,
Європейський парламент проголосував за надання громадянам України права безвізових подорожей до країн Євросоюзу.
The European Parliament has voted to let the citizens of Ukraine to travel the countries of the EU without visas.
Потужну підтримку в цьому питанні нам надала переважна більшість політичних сил.
A powerful support in this issue was granted by the vast majority of the political powers.
Окрім маргінальних проросійських, пропутінських партій.
Well, except for the marginals, pro-Russian, pro-Putin parties. So, he just called everyone who has different opinion marginals and Putin's puppets. And later, on this website that belongs to the news channel 5, that belongs to Poroshenko, a list of all who didn't support this decision was published, and in that list almost all of them are branded as far right or far left radicals, just radicals, and also explicit opponents of Ukraine. Names, country, right-wingers radicals, non-fractional conservatives, non-fractional right-wingers, radicals, far right, conservatives, far right, left, far left, far right. The next one is about the new billing for the natural gas in Ukraine. Now Ukrainians are going to get another bill in addition to the bill for the amount of gas they consumed. A gas supply subscription bill. So the gas is going to become even more expensive. It's already 10 times more expensive than it was in the end of 2013. The monthly price during winter is practically equal to an average wage in Ukraine. The next one could even be funny if it wouldn't be so sad. Petro Poroshenko assigned Maria Gaidar as his advisor. Maria Gaidar is a former Russian oppositional activist, a daughter of Boris Yeltsin's period Russian government official Yegor Gaidar. She didn't get enough success in Russia, so she came to Ukraine, and because she was an oppositional activist, she got her Ukrainian citizenship granted immediately and was placed as an advisor of now ex-governor of Odessa, ex-president of Georgia, Mikhail Saakashvili. Then, when she miserably failed, she quit her position. Saakashvili also didn't last too long because he also failed miserably. But before he did, he also got his Ukrainian citizenship and the position in the government granted easily. An ex-member of the Russian parliament that was murdered in Kiev recently also got Ukrainian citizenship very quickly. And if he wouldn't be murdered, he'd also end up as some kind of a government official. It's just ridiculous. It seems that the Ukrainian citizenship now costs nothing, worth nothing. You can get in a position in the Ukrainian government just by saying that you're an enemy of Putin. Yet, if you're an honest and hard-working person who wishes to move to Ukraine and work there, you're going to have to pass through all circles of hell to get your citizenship. Last one is about Ukraine finally getting yet another loan from the EU. 16 million euro. Seems like not a bad thing, but you have to remember that everything comes with a price. First of all, the state of the Ukrainian economy is so bad now that they're basically taking loans to pay loans. And also, for every new loan, they have to fulfill some demands of their creditors. And this article says about those conditions, demands. I'd like to focus on one that I consider the most important. The Ukrainian government has to lift a ban on selling of the agricultural land. As you might remember from my previous videos, a ban on exporting an unprocessed wood was already lifted not long ago. So Ukraine is being sold to the West bit by bit. What you need to know about Ukrainian agricultural land is that the soil in Ukraine is considered the best in the world. Even during the World War II, when Ukraine was under control of the Nazi, the soil was literally extracted, put on freight trains, and shipped to Germany. That's how precious it is, and Hitler knew it well. And I guarantee you that it will be owned by some transnational corporations. Well, that's all for today. See you next time.